This way?
Okay. 3, 2, 1, up!
And it does need to get clean.
Alright everybody, welcome back to another episode of Mission for Fishing. So happy to have you guys here. As you guys saw, we have dug the boat out of winter storage because we are going to be doing the 2022 upgrades and modifications to the boat. Now last year we had a lot of things break, we had a lot of things go wrong, we had a lot of good ideas, and so this year we're going to be implementing all of those, fixing all of those, and we're just going to be trying to optimize the boat as best we can for this open water upcoming season. Now the biggest thing that you guys are going to notice right off the gate is this. This is my new toy. If you guys followed this boat last summer, I had some issues running into the trolling motor. I bow mounted it up to the front and it didn't work. The trolling motor that I have is kind of a piece of junk. I needed to upgrade, as many of you suggested in the comment section below, so I did. This hopped on Facebook Marketplace, minnkota all-terrain 47-pound thrust, and I'll be the first to say, this is way more than I bargained for on this little boat. This thing is absolutely enormous. So we're gonna be trying to mount this up to the front deck. So what that entails is building a new front deck. I've wanted to add for a really long time, so I wanted to add lighting into the boat in certain places to light it up at night. We're also gonna be adding phone chargers, camera mounts. We're gonna be basically doing a lot to this boat to not only get it ready for the 2022 season, but also continue to improve it into what I feel this is gonna be the final iteration of how this boat is gonna turn out. So, with that all being said, we have a lot to do. We don't have a lot of time to get it done, but stay tuned, stick with it. Let's get into today's video.
What are we up to, Dave?
This is where the front trolling motor is going to be. So first we're going to tackle the deck because that's probably going to be the most labor intensive thing that we're going to be doing on this. This has to be big enough for the trolling motor base plate to mount, but the trolling motor also can't be sitting all the way out here in traffic because that would take up the least amount of space. So we have to angle it this way. So unfortunately we're going to be losing about 18-20 inches of deck space up front here with the addition of this. However, we are going to re-accommodate for that by adding an understorage. So we're going to try to utilize as much space as we can. This is 3/4 of an inch, and we're going to be bracing the living daylights out of this piece because this is going to be taking all of the forces that this trolling motor is going to be applying to this boat. So with that being said, I suppose let's get to cutting.
Kinda.
Well, that's it. Sweet, that's looking pretty good. All right, well, we got our piece all shaped out. Now what we have to figure out is this front plate here.
Yep.
And then we'll figure out bracing and whatnot.
Yep.
Paint it. Then maybe lunch?
Yeah.
Or lunch before that. Yeah. Okay.
Probably.
30, but I will say.
What are we doing here, Dave?
So as you can see, this deck is approximately 1 Gatorade bottle and turtle wax container tall. I really like the way this looks, dude. Like,
Yeah, you get it carpeted, it'll look good.
I think it's gonna you gonna ever stand on this? I might stand on this.
Oh, we'll try it, yeah. Well, let's get to the framing then. This is ridiculous. I'm trying to charge your battery for
Stealing your power.
you. I'm charging your battery for
Hey,
you.
I'm trying.
This is just sketch. Why like this?
Was that scary?
That was a...
Were you scared, Isaac?
See those angles in there? Kind of funny.
I feel very dangerous, dude.
This is quality Mission for Fishing content right here. Talk to the people, Dave. Talk to the people.
Copyright Audio Slave. Check them out. They got good songs. Anyways, we framed this out so like you can still use this as a hatch, so like there's nothing obstructing really putting stuff in here. And there'll be a little lip here so stuff can't roll out onto the deck, which is going to be really nice. 3, 2, 1. Alright everyone, so we are on the boat deck here. So this is the mock-up we got right now. Didn't take too much away from the front, which is good. Nobody really stood up at the very, very front corner anyways.
No.
So like, I mean, it's not that.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. The trolling motor pedal, it's huge. I don't know where it's gonna go. It's probably gonna live somewhere way up here. And that's just gonna be the nature of it. We just marked our holes where we're gonna have to eventually drill so we could brace it up with like some thicker stuff. Even though this is 3/4, so it should be able to handle a bolt going through it with this, we're gonna run extra reinforcement just to be sure. I don't know, what do you think so far?
No, I think so far so good. I'm excited to get to the wiring, but gotta get this chunk done first.
Probably be like 4 months before I get to try this, but nonetheless, I'll have it done. It's gonna be way better. This is like every other boat that I've looked at on the market, and I mean, this little tin can is shaping up to be quite the rig here, so.
Yep. Oh, Dave, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? That piece does not come out right now.
Are you sure? Where'd the other screws go?
Whoa.
I lost more than one.
I don't deserve to.
It's my switch! I bought the thing! So, we got 3 switches that we're going to be adding to the boat. These are going to be mounted on this side console, as you guys can see. And these are for what we're going to be installing. So we're going to have switches for lighting, switches for bilge pumps, switches to cut power to certain electronics when we're not using them, which is going to be very helpful so you're not going to have parasitic draw. Our grand plan and scheme is we were going to use toggle switches because they look super good. We were going to get a stainless steel plate, you know, like they look amazing, but they're really expensive. So instead of paying like $4 a switch, 69 cents for one of these bad boys. Kind of a no-brainer. These are just regular household light switches. They'll still work just fine.
Up to 10 amps.
Yeah, or 15. These are 15 amps.
Those are 15?
These are 15 amperes. They just won't have like the cool aesthetics or whatever. It'll look all right. It was cheap and, you know, it'll work. So basically these, if you've never seen this, I've never seen this, so I'll explain it to you guys probably pretty horribly. So this is a 3-gang box because we're going to be putting in 3 switches so that your light fixture screws into these here. There's 2 holes and there's 2 screws on your light switch, so they screw into that. It actually screws onto the inside, and normally you'd tack this into like a 2x4 or something. You'd push these nails through and then they'd go into like a 2x4. We don't have that on the inside of the boat. What we do have is a furring strip, and we're going to bolt it to the top of this. So we're going to hack these little wings off of the gang box. It's just going to mount under deck, just like so. And then your light switch is going to pop in like that, and then your cover is going to go on top of this and screw into the wood around it. And yeah, basically this is just going to clean it up and make it look nice. This I am really excited about. So this is a USB charger, so you can charge phones, charge camera batteries, which I'm really excited for. I'm really excited for this because you guys know my fish finder, it doesn't have GPS. So I found an app called Navionics on my phone, which does, so I can get the best of both worlds. This is going to be really handy for out in the boat when I have that open in on my phone, looking at, you know, both screens. I'm not going to run out of power. We're going to drill out a hole and we're going to put it somewhere like there. This is the stuff that we're going to be using to coat this deck before we seal it. This is the first time I'm using this stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to recommend this right now. However, the reason we went with this stuff, 1, it dries pretty fast, and 2, it can dry in 35 degrees, which is kind of the situation that we're constrained to right now because it's cold outside. We're also going to be undercoating the underside of the deck. Also, we're going to be getting rid of that pink finally. At least I'm not a fan of, and I'm sure you guys at home aren't either. Another reason why I'm really excited about this is mold and mildew resistant. So like in the past I've had problems with mold building up under the deck, like on a hot humid day. This is going to prevent mold and mildew from accumulating under your deck. Enough rambling, let's get to work.
Yep. Oh wow. Be good. That's going to turn out great, I think. I'm really excited about that. But yeah, now we just finished this hunk, and so we can finally take it out of the boat and paint it and be done for the night because I am tired.
Kind of like a work of art and kind of a complete pile of junk, all molded into one.
Oh, that looks so much better.
Alright everybody, welcome back to day number 2 of working on the boat. This is going to be hopefully final day. We started off today by just adding a second coat of paint to our front new trolling motor platform. Basically, once that dries, that's going to be ready for carpet. Right now, the main plan of attack for what we're going to try to do today is we're going to be working on this. This is the wiring for the boat. We're wiring up fish finders, bilge pumps, lights, the battery, the trolling motor, chargers, everything electrical, all the switches involved are all getting wired up today.
Good. Well, these look good once they're done, right? 6:37. So
6:37, and we just got that light done. So we've made some progress since we last saw you. As you can see, we added this little bolt light, and it's wired up into the switch box. We also got the USB port working, and we threw a little cover over those USB ports because we figured when rain gets on there or water splashes into the boat, it's gonna rust pretty quick. So we put an outdoor outlet cover on there.
Because now your cables come up and you charge your phone over here. So it's great. You can also hide like some goodies in there, like your fishing license, or actually that'd be pretty cool.
Mike and Ike's.
Mike and Ike's.
Like a few Mike and Ike's.
And then when you let it go, they'll fly everywhere. Yeah, great plan, Dave.
So this is that little Sylvania light bulb I was telling you guys about. It is super awesome, super bright. It's the one that's on right there. 240 lumens, $5 for this thing. Very, very, very cheap and super bright and really awesome. It's an LED.
Make sure you get the 12 volt version because you can get a 120 volt AC version. These are 12 volt DC versions.
Yes, 120 volt will not work. Little pins at the back, so positive and negative, and polarity doesn't matter on these, which is really handy. Yeah, so you can put positive, negative to either one of these terminals, and it's perfectly fine. The way we mounted these is we actually drilled a hole. This bulb is just going to slip into this hole here, and then to keep this bulb from coming out, I built this custom little fuser thing out of polycarbonate because polycarbonate is crack resistant and it's super strong stuff. It's really expensive, so the bulb is going to sit into that hole, and then this is basically going to sit right over the top of it, and they're going to secure it with these 3 screws that are drilled. And as you can see, yeah, that's basically what it looks like when it's all said and done. Pretty slick, pretty easy, and really cheap and effective way utilizing these pretty awesome and convenient bulbs. So highly recommend it. Just kind of came up with on the fly. So basically the deadline has been stretched tonight. I think, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but this has to be out of the garage by the night. We have a snowstorm coming in, so we have to park cars in the garage tonight. Also, it wouldn't be a Mission for Fishing episode if we didn't have to mount another taillight in another boat upgrades. This guy isn't doing too hot. It works still just fine. It's just the whole back piece is not salvageable. It physically broke off. So super big pain in the butt. I'm gonna quick throw that on. This is the final boat overview, guys. Check this out. Oh man, do you know how many weird looks I've gotten after we get 8 inches of snow and Dave pulls a boat out? I got a lot. My neighbors probably think I'm crazy, but I do this for you guys. This is the new rig. One thing I need to address right now is it is really cold, so I don't want to stand out here too long. We're going to try to touch everything that we did in this episode right now. So we got to keep this very fast. Today's episode, what we did is we basically added this new front deck here, addition to the boat, this new raised platform to bolt our new trolling motor. Minnkota all-terrain, super awesome trolling motor. I'm really excited to get to try and use this thing, and I think we did a phenomenal job bow mounting this up to the front. I mean, look at that. That is so seamlessly done with the gunnels of the boat with this front raised platform. It turned out better than I thought we would do. So I am super happy and stoked about that. We got the foot pedal mounted up front, so Basically, this is just gonna live up here for the time being. We might end up shoving it up into here. So we got plenty of storage in here. Kept a very open concept on here, so you can still get plenty of storage in here. And we're not really losing any space here. It's just really an addition of another pocket on the boat. We also installed some lights. These are those bulbs I showed you guys. These things are super bright, and we added this diffuser over the front. It's a piece of polycarbonate that we cut out with a jigsaw. God, that's really loud, isn't it? Like I said, we just got 8 inches of snow. Anyways, so we have 2 lights mounted into the boat. We have one up here at the front deck, which is gonna kind of illuminate the front of the boat here. We also have another one hidden back here in this console areas to light up this inside cockpit hatch thing. Basically, this should work extremely well. This should keep the boat well lit at night. So in addition to adding these 2 lights, we also added these switches so you can control all the electrical on the boat now. So the first one is for lights, which are the farthest forward on the boat. That's kind of the thought process behind this. The first switch here is for the lights right here, which are super bright, super handy. I'm really excited about them, if I haven't said it enough already. The second one is to cut power to my auxiliary electronics, so my fish finder. I also have auxiliary power to this phone charger right here, so I can cut it so it's not having parasitic draw on my battery. Big shout out to Isaac for doing all the wiring. Isaac also left me 1 extra spot so I can add in another auxiliary wiring somewhere. So hit me up in the comment section below on what you think I should use that extra port for. I know some of you are pretty creative in the comment section below. So you can cut power easily to the phone charging cables, which I'm super excited for. We also added this outdoor outlet, so these are going to stay nice and dry so water isn't going to get in there and kind of rust them out and make them trash. And then this last one is going to be for my bilge pump, which unfortunately we ran out of time to show in this episode, so I'm going to be installing it in spring when it's warmer. But this is going to be able to control my bilge pump in the back of the boat so I can get rid of any excess water. One thing that I didn't really show you guys is, you guys see this is a 2-prong. We now have onboard charging for the boat battery. It's a 1 amp hour charger, but it should be able to residually charge my boat and keep everything all online. Super awesome. Isaac actually gave me this, so shout out to Isaac. Moving a little bit farther back, we didn't change the fish finder a whole lot. We didn't do anything with that, but we did relocate the battery. And the big reason behind why we relocated the battery is up in the front. We got a trolling motor now. This front platform, which is also very heavy, this front platform has to weigh probably about 20 pounds, give or take. This trolling motor has to weigh, I'm guessing, at least 40 pounds, and that is no joke. That's solid cast aluminum cast iron. I have no idea. It's heavy. So because we added so much weight in the front of the boat, I was very concerned with this thing not going to be level anymore. So we had to take weight somewhere from out of the front. So one of the places where we were able to do that was from the battery. And this actually kind of worked out all right because this is a lot closer now to my switches in the long run, so we didn't have to run as much wire that way. We did run a little bit more wire and thicker gauge wire all the way up to the trolling motor, which we had to do because there's a lot more current running to your trolling motor than your auxiliary electronics. So we basically bit the bullet and we moved the battery back here, and I think it's going to work out way better. We cleaned up the terminal and leads here, so now we only have 2 prongs. So basically by hooking these 2 up, that's it. That's all the power for the boat being distributed to the trolling motor, to the lights, to the auxiliary fish finders and whatnot. So basically this is going to work out a lot easier, so I'm not going to have to fiddle with these nuts all the time. On top of all of this, we did have to sacrifice in one area, and unfortunately, if you guys come over here, it was the removability. Unfortunately, because we were bow mounting the trolling motor to the front, we had to secure this for good. So we ran a couple wood screws into the wood bench seats here. So this is all locked in place now. It's no longer going to warp. This isn't going to move on anybody. It never really did before. But I'm also losing that removability. So now this is really a 1-person dream boat. 2 people, kind of. 3 people pushing it. I don't know. That's basically what the boat is now. Nonetheless, we gained a ton of functionality with adding this trolling motor and whatnot. And so I'm really excited for the adventures to come and the possibilities with this new setup. Howdy. Sorry we're interrupting. Oh, that's fine. You're good. So everybody, that is going to do it for today's episode of Boat Upgrades. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tap that bell icon. I had a lot of fun doing these added upgrades and modifications with Isaac. Huge shout out to him, not only for coming over and helping me, but also doing video work and also giving me that onboard charger. Extremely helpful. I'm super grateful. Thank you so much, man. Another huge shout out I have to give is to my sister, who is filming today's video. The next time you guys see this boat, it will be in warmer weather, and hopefully it'll be on the water. Today's mission was to outfit the boat with my new trolling motor,
add some storage, add some lighting, add some little touches that I've been wanting to add for a really long time. And I think we pretty much did that. Unfortunately, we didn't add everything in this episode, so stay tuned for that also. But nonetheless, we did a lot of the big ticket items. And I'd say, with full-fledged confidence, we can safely say that would be a mission complete. Is this good height-wise? Oh, are you filming? Was that pretty bad? All of our mission for fishing customers here. Core sample of what our decks are like.
A little bit of a thread left there when you put all these washers on, and so you put this nut on. Okay, that's too fast. There's lots of places to sort right now. Turn off the camera. Okay, we're gonna start.
Okay.
Dave.
You can only swim.
Dave, that prop was perfect. I mean, it's not that bad, but don't be an idiot.
Was that good?
No.
Okay.
I'm helping kind of because I'm here, but I'm not really helping.
Camera wants to see this.
Oh my gosh, dude, I'm gonna get so high under here. This
Is there room under there?
No. So there, how about 21/64ths?